Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Friday to you all. Welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at one from, I guess you could say, a local brewery of mine. They're, I wouldn't say close, but they're kind of a little north of me. Actually, I'm trying to think of Geneva's north of me. I don't remember or not. But yeah, they're not the closest in the world. I think probably like half hour, 40 minutes away. But these guys are doing some really cool stuff over there at Art History Brewing. They have a really, really cool location over there to where they kind of bring in the world of art to craft beer, which I really, really appreciate, especially when it comes to their can art. They like to do stuff with local artists and all that kind of stuff and make really, really nice, clean, classy can art. But they also are doing some really, really cool things over there when it comes to their brewing methods as well, just because the owner, the one that started up the place, he grew his love of craft beer within the 80s, kind of did home brewing, and then traveled the world following, going over to Germany, all that stuff. I believe they were in Munich for a while. He actually went to school in Munich for brewing and stuff, so he got his diploma there. And then he came back to the States, to Geneva, Illinois, and decided to open Art History Brewing, which they're doing some really, really nice stuff over there. And today we're going to be taking a look at their double dry hopped Imperial IPA called Art Therapy. So when it comes to this kind of style of IPA, this is what they like to call it, and I really like the way they call it. They call it a BLT hopped IPA, just because of the three different hops in there stands for BLT. So they got Bravo hops, which brings in some nice kind of orange citrusy kind of flavors. Lotus hops, which also brings in orange, vanilla, kind of herbal and spiced kind of notes in there. And then with Trident hops, definitely gets a little bit more of a tropical kind of fruity notes to it, but also just adding a nice kind of floral kind of flavor in there as well. So I'm really expecting a nice kind of citrus forward, a little bit of tropical fruit in this nice double dry hopped IPA. Of course, if it's double dry hopped, that means there's a good amount of hops that were added while it was in the bright tank. Actually, no, I'm trying to think, that's not the bright tank, the fermenter. So while they're in fermenter, that's when they'd start double dry hopping it and getting all the different flavors from the hops coming through a little bit more. But I'm pretty damn excited to drink this one. I think a couple of my family have had this one. My dad's gone over to Art History and all that kind of stuff and tried some of their beer there. So I'm excited. I'm pretty damn excited. Plus, the location looks really, really nice. Really clean. It looks like there's some outdoor seating. Can't really tell. A couple tables here and there. But it just looks like a really nice, clean, classy brewery, which I'm always a big fan of. So without further ado, let's crack this thing open and see what we get on those. I'm not sure what kind of color we're going to get on this one. Maybe a little bit of more of like an orangish kind of haze to it. I don't know. But let's see what we get on the nose in this guy. Yep. Definitely some floralness. Definitely citrus. I would say it's more on the orange kind of citrus kind of on the nose. It smells delicious. It smells absolutely delicious. Plus, it comes in at a 9% ABV due to it being an Imperial IPA. A lot of the times you'll see Imperial IPAs coming around between that 8 and 9% ABV mark. But yeah, I'm super stoked to try this one out. Of course, could be drinking out of my Grim Army, beaten and tattered, a worn kind of Grim Army glass by now. I've drank out of this thing plenty of times and to enough to where the paint's starting to scratch off, but that's okay. So let's pour this guy and see what this thing looks like on the pour. Oh yeah, definitely more of an orange in color. Almost kind of an amber kind of look to it. Nice little head, not too much. Not really much haze going on as well, but overall I think this looks like an absolutely delicious kind of darker Imperial IPA. And look at that. Definitely more clear in color. You can definitely see they put some clearing agents in there. Definitely still getting a lot of that orange citrus, a little bit of a sweetness coming on the nose. Yeah, it smells delicious. Absolutely delicious. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Yeah, it's delicious. Definitely has more of that oily mouthfeel that I would expect with this kind of IPA. Wasn't really expecting a crazy amount of juiciness or a kind of just a hazy tropical fruit bomb kind of situation. Definitely has more of an oily mouthfeel. Definitely getting a lot of floral kind of notes coming through. A little bit of that citrus comes through in the middle that kind of balances out that floralness. Definitely has a nice amount of bitterness to it as well. Overall, the flavors are really, really nice. Definitely, if you're a fan of an American style IPA, I think this would definitely be one I think you would be in the realm of enjoying. I can see people who enjoy Pliny the Elder enjoying this one, to be honest, just because it kind of gives me some similar flavors with a little bit less of the the sweetness that I get at the end, but you're definitely still getting that bitterness, the spice kind of notes, a slight fruitiness, light little sweetness at the end that kind of just lingers on the tongue afterwards. Definitely gets like almost like a dreamsickly kind of sweetness at the end. And yeah, it's pretty damn delicious. And plus, Art History likes to call it their boldest IPA. So definitely, if you're not a fan of hoppiness, this might not be the beer for you. Just letting you know, because there is a good amount of hoppiness going on with this one. So let's look here over at Untapped. And if you can't get your hands on this one from Art History, because I don't believe I'm not 100% sure if they distribute or not, but they do can it, and they do have it available when it comes to either picking it up at the brewery, or maybe there's some places around the Chicagoland area that you can find it at a liquor store or bottle shop around there. But let's look here and see what the similar beers list shows on Untapped to see if we can find something that would be pretty damn close to this one. Of course, I already mentioned one possibly. I would recommend if you're a fan of Pliny the Elder. I think you would enjoy this one. Let's see what else we got here. We got one here called Seven Space Hops, which is from Andor Home Brewer, which looks like it's just a home brewer that's making some stuff over there. So I'm not sure if this is available or not. But I'm guessing he may be home brewing it, and this is overseas, it looks like, too. So probably in Europe and all that. Then we got one here from Treehouse Brewing Company called the King Julius. So the King Julius, I would say, is a little... I don't know if I'd really consider this one. This is definitely going to have more tropical fruit. Going to be a lot hazy. Going to be a lot more, like, juicier when it comes to the... Not really as much of an oily mouthfeel when it comes to that one. So let's see what else we got. We got the Double Ojo from Bakes Brewing Company. What's this guy? So this is like another kind of orange zest, kind of orange and lime citrus kind of situation. I don't know if really I consider this one similar. Then we got one here from Fiddens Brewing Company called the Double Dry Hopped Loosed Boots with mango. Again, this is going to be more tropical fruit. I'm not really liking the similar beers choice on this one, to be honest. And then the last one we got here is from Red Dragon Brewery, which is located, I believe these are Fredericksburg, Virginia. And this one's called the Morning Dew Triple Dry Hopped, which is, let's see, triple dry hop with Eureka, Zecca, and Eldorado. Yeah, definitely that's going to be more of a juicier one, I would say, too. So none of these ones that I'm seeing on the similar beers list for this one is really doing it for me, to be honest. So I'm probably going to say, if you're trying to find something that's similar to this, I would go with probably... Pliny would be really close. I know there's some other kind of more American style IPAs that are a little bit more spice forward, a little bit more herbal and piney on the front, maybe a little bit of a sweetness coming at the end. So that's the kind of thing that I would kind of put into it. Of course, it's going to have a little bit more of a bitterness because I think it only states it as 39 IBUs, which is not too high at all. But especially ones like Pliny have definitely a higher IBU rating on their stuff. But overall, you're still getting that nice hoppy bite. You're getting a little bit of like fruitiness in the middle, and then you kind of get this nice like sweet vanilla orange kind of note at the end with this one. But if you're looking for that just upfront hoppiness, if you're a fan of Pliny the Elder and stuff like that, I think you would really enjoy this one. So let's look back here on Untapped and let's see what they show as the description of this guy. So what it says right here on Untapped is, says full-bodied, double dry hopped Imperial IPA brewed with Bravo, Lotus, and Trident hops, aka the BLT, and then hazy with a slight fruity and spice hop flavor, yet not overly bitter. Our boldest IPA. To be honest, I don't know where they're getting the haziness from. I'm not really getting much of a haziness from it. Maybe it could be just over time it kind of settles down a little bit. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can pour a little bit more in there. Maybe some other stuff is coming out. Yeah, really not much coming towards the end of the pour, so I'm not sure where they're saying it's a hazy one, but I still really enjoy the flavors. It has a little bit of a murkiness here and there every once in a while, but overall it's still relatively translucent. So, and it says right here, like I said, it's a 9% ABV. So right off the bat, I would not consider this a sessionable beer whatsoever. You're going to be having one or two of these, and you're going to definitely start feeling it. And 39 IBUs, pretty good IBU rating. Definitely has a nice hoppy bitterness to it, along with nice floral spice flavors coming through right on the front end. And with over 242 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.85 out of 5 for an average on Untapped, which is pretty good. Yeah, I've seen a lot better ones, but I haven't really had many beers from Art History to the point where it's like this may be one of their top ones that they do. But I know this is definitely it states right here, and it's I've heard through the grapevine that this is their like most punch you in the face IPA kind of thing they have. So overall, it's still pretty damn delicious. I don't know if it'd be like a go-to kind of IPA for me, because you guys know by now I'm more of a fan of like the tropical kind of citrus, a little bit of like tropical fruit flavors in there, like a little bit more of a haze, like a little bit more of a juiciness. But overall, the flavors in this one are still really, really nice. So let's look here on my friends list and see if they had anybody check this one in. Of course, we had my uncle, who doesn't really give ratings. He just checks it in to kind of keep a catalog, like I mentioned before. We got my cousin who checked this one in and gave it a 3.75. My father checked this one in when he purchased it at Art History, and he gave it a 3.75 as well. Looks like at one point he brought home a growler for this one, so I didn't know that. So well, then okay, so he's checked it in a few times. So my dad's had this a couple times. Another 3.75 check in, and then another 3.75 check in. So my dad's checked this one in 3 times. That's fine. I've checked in multiple beers more than once. It's not really a bad thing. It just kind of shows you that, hey, you enjoy this beer. So let's look back here on the global rating to see what other people had to say. So let's look here. This guy gave it a 3.75. Purchased at Art History Brewing. What else? We got one here. Purchased at Art History. Didn't give it a rating. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got a 3 out of 5. Purchased at Beer Miscuous, which is a beer store in Chicago, Illinois. So this is telling me that this beer is distributed around the Chicagoland area. Unfortunately, I don't think it's available right now on tap, because it's not showing that it's available at the brewery itself right now, but they have a couple other stuff available that's in the realm of being a pale ale, but they don't really have like a nice like hoppy IPA available right now, which is kind of disappointing. I know you want variety, but always when it comes to how beers trend around your local area and all that kind of stuff, a nice kind of good IPA is something that you should always have on tap, in my opinion, if you were working at a brewery or owning a brewery itself. Let's see what else we got here. We got a 4 out of 5 rating. We got another 4 out of 5 purchased at Art History. Let's see. We got a 3.5. Well, we got a 2.5. We got a 3.25. This person gave it a 2.25, saying too much alcohol taste for me. Yeah, maybe he's not used to the whole higher ABV kind of stuff yet. But for me, I'm not really getting like an alcohol kind of taste for me. It's just definitely there's a nice, robust, hoppy, floral, herbal bitterness to this one. So let's look at 3 more here. We got another 3.75 rating. We got a 4.25 saying amazing, and then we got a 3 out of 5 rating on this one. So yeah, overall, I would say ratings are a little bit all over the place. There's not really seeing like an average kind of thing. I would say out of like an average from what I'm seeing for check-ins, it's definitely more around the 3.75 kind of realm from what I'm seeing, which isn't bad. That's a solid beer. Definitely something that you should not have to worry about anything when it comes to, if you see a beer that has an average rating around a 3.75, it's most likely still going to be a pretty good beer. It's just not like anything that will have people like running home about kind of situation. But overall, this beer is still really, really good. I'm enjoying it. So let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here on our end with this guy. So of course, let me pour the rest of it in the glass if I can. Yep. And let's look at the can art, because the can art's really nice. I like it. It almost kind of has like I don't want to say like a noon whistly vibe, but there's definitely kind of the contrast in colors almost having it look like. So you have the black, kind of almost reminds me of like a chalkboard, and then you have this like really kind of like almost ancient kind of drawing of maybe like an Aztec woman or something like that, wearing the kind of start like that. Almost looks like a sundial in her hand. I'm not sure. It's definitely a very, very unique, clean, classy art style. And of course, you got the two-toned color where it's the green on the bottom saying the name of the beer and all that kind of stuff. So definitely when it comes to the two-tone kind of can art, of course, I always think of Noon Whistle when it comes to the two colors, like top and bottom kind of situation. So this almost gives me that kind of vibe as well. But the one disadvantage about this kind of can art that is almost disappointing, like, I really love Art History's logo. If you can see right there, that's a really kind of cool, clean, classy logo for a brewery. My biggest thing is I'm upset that they don't really take advantage a lot of when it comes to the real estate they have on the can, because that's how you're marketing your beer. You know, you really can't just go by what is on the wall at the brewery. If you want to market this, if you have it available when it comes to purchasing at a liquor store or bottle shop, you want to market it well. Even though this is really clean and classy and has a nice look to it, I would have liked to see a little bit more stuff taken up on the sides, kind of, because it kind of, if it had more detail in that kind of way, it would be more eye-catching. It would have somebody kind of look, maybe sometimes have a double take at it to where you see it, and then you kind of walk away from it, then you turn and it's like, wait, what's that on the side? So the more attention that the can art can give, the better it most likely will sell. So overall, I'm going to give this a 2.75 out of 5 for can art for me. I really like the picture on there is really clean. It's really nice, but I would have liked a little bit more. I just don't like all that black kind of blank space on there. It's kind of disappointing on that kind of aspect. But overall, it's still a really nice, clean can art. Like I said, I really like the logo, but I just can't give it a high rating that you would see from me when it comes to different other breweries and how they do more intricate and more eye-catching kind of can art. So let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight over at Art History, would I get another one? To be honest, yeah, I think I'd get another one of these if I had in a flight. Definitely, this is a nice change of pace when it comes to the IPAs that I usually drink, when it comes to having a lot more fruitier flavors, having a little bit less bitterness, less spice notes, less florally kind of notes, just having those like tropical fruit bombs that I really, really enjoy. But this is definitely a really nice change of pace when it comes to kind of changing it up every once in a while, almost cleansing your palate from those like juicier kind of beers. So yeah, I think it's still a very, very delicious beer. I'm definitely a fan of this one. So I would, if this was my only choice when it comes to IPAs at Artistry, yeah, I would definitely get another one. If they had maybe a fruitier or juicier kind of IPA, may go towards that more, but who knows? This would definitely still be something I'd get a glass of if I was there. So that being said, what is my final rating on this guy going to be? I think, to be honest, I'm going to give this one a very, very solid 7.25 out of 10. Like I said, I enjoy it. I like how I explained that this isn't my go-to style of an IPA, but overall, the flavors in this one are still really nice. Nice florally flavors, a little bit nice citrus, nice sweetness that comes up in the end. The floral pininess, the spiced kind of notes that kind of hit you up front. For some people, it could be overwhelming. For me, it's not, just because I've had plenty of beers that are like this style. So overall, the flavors to me are really, really nice. It's just, like I've explained, it's not my go-to style of an IPA, but it's still really good. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. 7.25 out of 10 for final rating on this guy. If you're able to get your hands over and get your hands on this stuff, or possibly if you're able to make a stop over at Art History if you're in the Chicagoland area, I would definitely recommend it. They're doing some fantastic work over there. It's a really, really nice crew, really nice tap house, really nice just overall brewery. So they're doing really, really nice things over there. So big shout outs to Art History for coming out with this one and continuing to just do what they do and having a good time doing it. So other than that, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live, do another review. If you're looking to follow me on all my different kind of social media accounts and all that kind of stuff, you can shoot me a follow on Instagram. That's where you'll see me doing my daily post of when I'm going to be reviewing a beer. You'll see the hand check, or you'll be seeing me post some shenanigans over at the brewery. I know I haven't had a lot of reviews this week just because it's been pretty damn busy over at the brewery, so I've been working every day. But today, luckily, I have off, so let's see. You can follow me on Instagram, of course, if you want to shoot me a friend request on Untapped to see what I'm drinking, what I'm rating, some stuff. I always like to tell people to go over to Untapped if you're a fan of craft beer, because what I like to call it is Facebook for beer drinkers. It's a really, really fun platform. You can check in beers, get badges, all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really fun platform. So you can shoot me a friend request on there so I can see what you're drinking. You can see what I'm drinking. It's just a really, really cool thing that they're doing over on Untapped. And finally, if you want to support me in any other aspect when it comes to possibly giving me a little bit extra coin and get me the opportunity to get my hands on some other beers and possibly give back to you guys as well, my Patreon is always available as well if you want to purchase if you want to purchase a tier on there and get the chance to win a monthly 4-pack that I do, and then kind of have the ability down the road where I'd be coming out with custom glassware, shirts, coasters, koozies, all kinds of stuff. I'm thinking about making a craft beer Discord exclusive for people that are on my Patreon. So If you want to support me that way, the link to my profile for that is down in the description below as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.